Hello again, everyone. So I hope again you are all guys having a good day. So I think this will be the last lesson for our engineering economy, except if unless there will be some requests for additional lessons. But for today, we will have the lesson of break-even analysis, which is also called BEA. So we can have that break-even analysis for the definition. It is a point in sales where the income is equal to the capital, or it is when the sum of the variable and fixed costs are equal to the sales income. So I will be discussing what are the variable, fixed, and sales income later on. But for now, the definition for break-even analysis, simply this is the point in business. If you have a business, this is the point where you will gain nothing, but also you didn't lose anything. You didn't gain any money, but you didn't lose any money also. Or simply, the sales income or the income that you or your income will just be equal to your expenses. Okay? So if the sales income or your income is just equal to the expenses, therefore you didn't gain anything. Okay? You didn't gain, but at the same time, you didn't lose anything. So I hope that is clear for the definition. Okay, so let's proceed to the next definition, which is the variable, fixed, and sales income. So what are those? Of course, for the sales income, this is quite straightforward. Okay, so sales income. This is sales income is simply your income when you sell something. Okay, when you sell something. So this is quite straightforward. So I don't need to explain this anymore. So for the variable costs. So what are the variable costs? So I will just call this VC. Okay, VC, and this one is SI. So sales income and variable costs. So variable costs, of course, if you want to sell something, you have to produce that something. Okay, so let's for example, you are selling a computer. Okay, so if you want to sell a computer, first of all you have to build one, right? So if you want to build one, you have to buy the parts, you have to do the labor, so you have to ask someone for help. So that is the variable cost. If you want to build a computer, you have to buy first the parts, so that will be your variable cost. Okay, now, what is fixed cost? So you can simply say that variable cost is the cost of materials that you use in order for you to create to create the product that you will planning to sell. Okay. So for the fixed costs are usually the expenses that doesn't change much or quite often. So for example, for this one, let's say you have to build a business. Of course, you have to do it in a place, right? Let's say that you have to rent a place. Now, if you rent a place, let's say that you are paying that place, let's say 30,000 per month. That is your fixed cost. Okay. So again, another example, fixed cost is rent, or another example is, of course, if you have a business, you won't be alone, you need some employees, so your employees must have salaries are also a fixed cost. So that is a definition for fixed cost. So again, sales income is simply your the sales income, the income that you will have after you sell a product or your product. And variable cost is the cost of materials. This is usually dependent on the number of products that you want to make. Okay, but for the fixed cost, that is not dependent on anything, because at the as the word as the fixed cost implies itself, it is fixed, it doesn't change quite often. Okay, so getting the definition. Again, going back to the definition of break-even analysis, it is when the sum of variable and fixed cost. Sum of variable and fixed cost. So we can say that VC plus FC are equal to the sales income. Sales income is SI. That is simply the formula that we will be using for this lesson, for the break-even analysis. So with that, I think we can proceed to our sample problems. Okay, so going for our sample problem. So a company sells an item for 10 pesos each. So let's put down the givens already. Okay. So let me make it smaller, given. No, I'll just introduce you the symbols that I will be using. So we already have the sales income, SI, fixed cost, and variable cost, right? So we have sales. So we have SI. This is a sales income. And then fixed cost, sorry, FC is fixed cost. Why do you fixed fixed cost, and then VC will be your variable cost. And then I will also include SP. Okay, SP, or let's just say S to make it shorter. This will be your selling price, and then N will be the number of products must be sold to achieve break even. Okay. Mm, okay. So with that, let's proceed to the problem. Let's put all the given. So for the given, we have a company sells an item for 10 pesos each. So the company wants to sell an item for 10 pesos each. So we already have a selling price, right? Selling price that is 10 pesos. And the labor is 2 pesos each unit. Okay? So each unit. So that 2 pesos is dependent on the number of units. Therefore, that will be your sorry, a company sells an item for 10 pesos each. If the manufacturing cost is 60,000 per month, so you have a 60,000 per month, so that will be your fixed cost. Okay, fixed cost. That is 60,000. Take note that this is per month. And then we have, and the labor is 2 pesos each unit. So we have a variable cost. Okay, so variable cost. That is 2 pesos. Um, let's just put here 2 pesos each unit labor cost. This labor cost. Okay, so we are now required to find what? We are required to find how many units must be sold to be at break-even point. So we are simply asked to find the N, or the number of products must be sold to achieve break-even. Okay, so N. So this must be equal to um, units. Units. The unit is units. Okay, so as you can see, we have a selling price of 10 pesos. Therefore, if we want to get SI, or the sales income, this is simply the selling price, okay? The selling price times the number of products that you must sold in order to achieve the break even, of course, okay? So this must be S times N. I hope that is clear. Okay, if ever that is not clear, for example, you have to sell a product, okay? So let's say again you are selling a candy, okay? Just a simple example. You have to sell a candy that is 2 pesos each. Now, in order for you, let's say you are selling the candy for a whole day, for one whole day, and then you want to know what is your sales income. So what you will simply do is at the end of the day, all you have to do is you have to count how many candies you've sold, okay? How many candies that you have sold, and then multiply it by the price of the candy. So that will just be 2 pesos, which is the price of the candy, times N, which is the number of candies that you sold for that day. Or simply that is times S times N. So that will be your sales income. Okay? So the variable cost, what is a variable cost? So for the variable cost, that is simply how much you bought that candy for you to sell it. Of course, if you want to buy the candy, you will buy the candy and then you will sell it at a higher price, right? Let's say that you buy the candy for 1 peso. Okay? So you will have your variable cost will be 1 peso times how many candy did you buy or did you bought. Okay, so that will be 1 times n. So that will be the capital cost or the labor cost or whatever times the n. So for this one, the VC will be 2 pesos each unit. Okay, so this must be 2 times n, and this one will be 10 times n, because the selling price is 10 pesos, while here the labor cost is 2 pesos. Okay, and now simply the fixed cost is just 60,000. So going back to the formula, and that is just simply SI must be equal to VC plus FC. Okay. See. Now substituting all of this, you will have here 10 and it must be equal to 2 and plus FC is 60,000. And then all you have to do, we already have the equation. All you have to do is just find the value of n. So finding the value of n, transpose to n and then divided by 60,000. So you'll have here 8n equal to 60,000. So n will just simply be 60,000 all over 8. So n is equal to, let's use our calculators. You can solve it with me so that you can verify if my answer is also right. So that's 60,000 divided by 8, that's just 7,500. So 7,500 units. So this will be your answer. So what does the 7,500 units means? That means the company must sell 7,500 units for them to achieve break even. That means at this point, if they already sold 7,500 units, they were able to get back what they paid. Okay, that the expenses that they paid. So that means at 7,500, they didn't gain any money, but they didn't lose any money. So this must be their goal. So per month the company must sold or must sell 7,500 units, more than 7,500 units. Okay, so if they sold 7,501 and so on, let's say the company has income, but if the company doesn't sells less than 7,500, let's say the company sells, let's say, only 7,000, that means they will lose some income. Okay, they didn't have any income, they lose money. Okay, or simply if they keep it going like that, if they keep um selling seven less than 7,500 units, they will go bankrupt. Simply that, so that is a 7,500 units. So I hope that is clear. So let's move on to the next problem. Okay, so going for our next problem, so we have a manufacturing company sells its item 20 pesos per unit. So the maintenance cost per month is 40,000 pesos, and the labor cost per unit is 4 pesos. So if each unit manufacturing cost is 8 pesos, so that is simply the cost of materials, calculate the volume of sales per month. Okay, so let's again put all the givens. So we have a given what? So manufacturing company sells this item for 20 pesos. So we already have the selling price, or I think we can move on to the sales income immediately. So sales income will just be equal to 20 pesos times the number of items or the number of products that must be sold to achieve break even point, which is 20 N or N. Okay. And then the maintenance cost per month is 40,000 pesos. So the maintenance cost is 40,000 pesos per month. That is fixed, right? So you have to pay 40,000 per month for the maintenance cost. So that will be your fixed cost. Fixed cost is 40,000 pesos, and the labor cost per unit is 4 pesos. So we have a labor cost. That means you have to pay 4 pesos per unit as a labor cost. So that must be your VC, or the variable cost. So that is 4 pesos times how many units that must be sold, or 4n. And again, we already, and another one is if each unit manufacturing cost is 8 pesos. So we again, analyzing it, you have to pay for a labor cost per unit of 4 pesos. Okay? So 4 pesos per unit. And then we have another one. In order for you to create that or to manufacture that unit, you have to pay 8 pesos. The company must have an expense of 8 pesos per unit. So in order for you to create the product, you have to pay the labor cost of 4 pesos and the cost of materials, or the manufacturing cost of 8 pesos. With a total of, that's 8 plus 4, you have to pay 12 pesos per unit in order for you to manufacture it. So that will be 4n plus 8n, or it can be simply 12n. So that's it. That's why break-even analysis is really easy. Okay. So again, you are required to find n units. Okay. So so for the solution, I think I can just type this one. Let's make it bigger. So for the solution, again, the formula is SI must be equal to variable cost plus the fixed cost. So another thing is you have to check if all the given is in per month. So again, we are looking for a volume of sales per month, okay, per month, and the maintenance cost is also per month. Therefore, you don't have to convert anything. So next one is the SI is 20 and okay, must be equal to VC, which is 12n, and then plus what, the 40,000 pesos. So all you have to do is transpose 12n, you have to find n, so you'll have 8n must be equal to 40,000. Therefore, we can simply say that n is 40,000 all over 8. 8, this is just simply equal to, is this, just to make sure, that is 5,000. So you have to solve, you have 5,000 units. So this will be your answer. 5,000 units. Therefore, again, the manufacturing company must be able to um, sold sell a 5,000 units per month in order for them to have an income. Again, less than 5,000 units, they will go bankrupt in any soon. So that's why they must be able to sell at least 5,000 units every month. Okay. So let's go to our next problem. Okay, so for our next problem, we have an electronic store that sells transistors, pays their lot space 200K per year. Okay, so if the transistor can be sold 8 pesos per unit while manufacturing cost is 1.25 pesos per unit, so calculate the number of units that must be sold per month to achieve break even. Okay, so let's put all the givens first. Again, that must be okay. So given we have electronic store that sells transistor pays their lot space for 200K per year. So 200K per year. So it must be the 200K must be your or the rental, that will be your rent. It must be your fixed cost. So that is 200,000. Remember that this must be per year. And then for the next one is we have if the transistor can be sold at 8 pesos per unit. So sold. So that must be your SI, or the sales income. So it must be N. And then next is while the manufacturing cost is 1.25 pesos per unit. So therefore, the electronic store must pay 1.25 pesos, or that will be the cost of materials in order for them to manufacture the transistor. So you'll have here the VC. So this is 1.25 times N. Okay. So now we are required to find what? Again, that must be usually what you are asked here in break-even analysis is your N. So N must be units per month. So calculate the number of units that must be sold per month. Remember that it must be in per month. Okay. So you already have everything, right? But take note, okay? Take note that this is per month, while the fixed cost is 200k per year. So what will you do? Okay. So take note, this one must not be 200,000. It should be per year. So this will become 200,000 all over 12 to make it per month. Okay, so this must be per month, 12 months. Okay, so with that, we can proceed to the solution. Okay, so for the solution, this is again quite easy. All you have to do is substitute. So VC plus FC. So again, SI is 8N, this must, and then VC is 1.25N, and then plus 200,000, this is divided by 12. Okay, and then all you have to do, so simplifying this one, that is 200,000 divided by 12, that is, and then transpose 1.25 on the other side, you'll have 6.75 n is equal to 16 6.67, and then so simply n must be equal to 16,666.67 all over 6.75. So that will be your answer. So let's try to use our calcu. 7.67 divided by 6.75. So you'll have 2469. N must be equal to 2469.13. Okay, units. Now this is quite a confusing part. So what if we have a choices? Okay, let's say that the choices are, let's say that the choices are A is 2469, and then B is 2470, and then C is 2471, and then D is 2472. Okay, so obviously letter C and D can never be your answer. You will not consider that as your answer. So the question is, which one is the answer? Is it A or B? Now, if you will follow the des or the rounding off rules, clearly if you will round off the 2469.13, the answer will be 2469. Therefore, your answer will be this one. Okay. However, if you really think, consider the break-even analysis. If the company will sell only 2,469, that will be not your break-even point, and that is worse for the company because they didn't have any income, but they lose something because as you can see, the product that you must sold is 2469.13. Of course, we don't have any point 13 product. So the number of products that must be sold must be a whole number. So 2469 is not your break even point because it is less than the 2469.13, and it is worse. It is worse because uh, the company loses some money. That's why if you encounter something like this, it is more rational or better to have an income rather than to lose some money. That's why it is more reasonable to have your answer as 2470. Or in short, when you are dealing with break-even analysis, all you have to do is never round down, always round up if you encounter any decimal answer. Okay. So the more reasonable answer is 2470 because if you got 2470, yes, that is not the exact break even point, but at least you already gain or your company already has an income. Okay. So I hope that is all clear. And I think that's it for this video. And again, um, I hope that I was able to help all of you guys during these online classes, and thank you for all your support. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And since this is the last video for engineering economy, expect more videos of other subject soon. So I want to thank you all guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that of course you will be notified as soon as I upload a new one. So keep safe everyone, and thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.